Conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion.
Hello there, folks. Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast that's looking to be a bad boy in L.A. I am Dan O'Keefe, and joining me, as always, is the thoroughly disgusted Anna Otto. Anna, are you looking to be a bad boy in L.A.?
That shot me back to earlier today when I was trying to peacefully enjoy a remix of a song that I like, and there was a break in the song, and all of a sudden a voiceover just went, "You've been a bad boy," and then the beat dropped. And I made that same face when that happened. So, you know, Dan, I've been better, my headspace.
What were you listening to where the remix goes, "You've been a bad boy"?
Okay, I'm going to tell you, and this is a deep cut for the musical theater girlies and the adult cartoon girlies.
Oh, well.
Are you familiar with Has Been Hotel?
The title.
Okay, sensational show. I love it. It's adult cartoon. You know, it's definitely like, I can't remember what the TV rating is, but it's not for children.
TVMA.
And there's this one character voiced by Blake Roman, Hi King, named Angel Dust or Anthony, and they are, they're like a lust demon, and because this takes place in hell, forgot to mention. And he has this song called Poison. It's very sad. It's about how his character struggles with addiction and he kind of bows to the whims of these, people who kind of rule over the community. And
sure. Do you relate to his character?
Is the lore too deep?
Because
only
you
in the
feel
sense
the same
that,
as him?
No, only in the sense that I love to dance to songs that have lyrics that are depressing.
Okay, not because you're also a lust demon.
No, unfortunately, I would say that the way I just described the book I'm currently reading to you, it's Butcher and Blackbird for all of the literature girlies.
Yeah, her description of it is, oh my god, I feel like I need to read the Bible after reading this.
It's so... I'm not opposed to reading a little bit of a spicy book, but this one... I'm tired. I said to Dan before we started recording last night, I said to Gage, I can't do this right now. Like, I can't read all these pages right now. I am not in the right headspace for another 30 pages of filth. I might have to read, like I said, something very clean after this. Anyway, Angel Dust, the song is Poison. The remix is crazy. The actual song is fire. Thank you. Shout out the Living Tombstone.
Is Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe, and the remix is Crazy by Gnarls Barkley?
No. Okay, no. Both songs are called Poison. Both of them are by Blake Roman and the Living Tombstone, who, if you're familiar with them, they did the soundtrack for what highly anticipated film, Dan?
Beetlejuice.
Released last year? Oh, okay. Not
Red, White,
too
and
far.
Royal
Too
Blue.
Anticipated. Oh, I wish. That's some spice I can get behind. It's actually going to be Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, okay. Great.
Thank you so much for coming to my book/music corner.
You're just selling me on it so hard.
I could go really into the bowels of nerd music, but I'm going to just buckle up and say, how are you, Dan? What do you want to talk about?
I'm good. My favorite album from an indie rock band is called The Bowels of Nerd Music. I think it's Death Cab for Cutie's follow-up to Plans. No, I'm good. I'm just chilling here in Cedar Rapids. Too deep cut?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's a Hillary Clinton quote.
Oh, my bad.
I'm just
sorry.
chilling here in Cedar Rapids.
Oh,
sorry, I didn't
if you'd
say
done
it
the
with
voice, I would have known. Come on. I only know memes by their cadence. Oh, I tried to explain. Very demure, very cutesy. Do you know that meme?
I do. I don't like it.
Oh, I love it. I tried to explain to like 3 people this week and none of them understood it.
So I started seeing videos using it before I saw the original video. It makes more sense now seeing the original video, but still I'm just like, the only good ones that I've there's one that I really enjoyed. There was somebody doing a voiceover over old footage of Robert Moses, New York City planner from the 30s to the 60s. And it was him describing how he built a lot of highways and tore down housing to build highways and like hated poor people. And he was like, you see, I put this highway through here. Very demure, very cutesy.
Very cutesy.
That's the only one that I've enjoyed of that. Otherwise, I'm just like,
okay,
this
that's
feels
on
too
brand
close
for you.
to a Gen Alpha meme.
Oh, I love it. That actually makes complete sense for you, though, respectfully.
Oh, yeah. When I was running today, I was listening to The Power Broker, which is about Robert Moses, which I've been listening to now for 8 months.
Oh, my God, Dan.
This book is like 1,200 pages long.
Oh, my. This book that I'm currently reading is like, you hear me? Educatedly flipping through pages.
Yeah, here. Do you want to do some book ASMR?
Yeah, literally. That's the sound of a public
I
library.
barely heard anything.
345 pages, and that feels long.
345? That's about the length a book should be.
Yeah, that's a good length. A healthy book.
Under 200, you're at novella length, and I'm like not for it.
It's giving short story.
I will say over 400 is where it starts to become a long book for me. But then again,
a slog.
Most books that I read are slogs, in a positive way.
I do like to be educated. I like to read
Smut.
silly little goofy things, and apparently this.
I like to read hardcore pornography, just transcripts of it.
I didn't choose this life. I knew what I was getting into, but I don't think I realized the extent. It was all over TikTok. I was influenced. Okay, I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I thought to myself, I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I can handle this.
Do you think you're easily influenced?
Oh, absolutely. On Book Talk? Yes.
Yeah.
I bought a $10 hand sanitizer because I saw little, like, Bama Rush girlies using it.
I think
and they're so cute, and I want to be like them.
I think you should realize that you were not a Bama Rush girly. You've never been a Bama Rush girly.
I'm also turning 29 in like 3 days.
You're an elderly, middle-aged woman.
Yep. I just want to feel cutesy. Very demure, very cutesy, very mindful.
Very mindful. Very mindful. Mm-hmm. Speaking of mindful, the movie that we're talking about today is the third and not final movie in the Karate Kid series, The Karate Kid Part 3.
Shout out to my coworker who listens to the podcast. Hi. She loved that we shouted her out the last time. I just want to say, girl, these get worse and worse, like you said, with every single film I've seen. You were right.
Yeah, not wrong.
That's all.
Karate Kid Part 3, once again directed by John G. Avildsen, once again written by Robert Mark Carmen, once again produced by Jerry Weintraub, once again starring Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita, and introducing Thomas Ian Griffith as Terry Silver.
My king. I hated how he looked in this, but he was the epitome of what I envision when I think 80s villain.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted him to sing a song so bad. I can't even begin to describe it.
Also featuring Sean Kanan as Mike Barnes, who just looks like an 80s villain. Straight up. Returning as John Kreese, Martin Cove, and most importantly, starring as Daniel LaRusso's platonic friend.
Because she was a literal child.
She was underage. Teen Witch.
You know what? I love friendship. I'm glad that he could finally see a woman as a friend. Gage told me, I'm sure this was a fact for the end, but I was so shook to my very core that I had to bring it up now.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Silver was like almost a year younger than Ralph Macchio.
Yes. Playing somebody who's supposed to be 20 plus years older than him.
The shookedness that I experienced when he told me that. But I was like, you know what, Ralph? Get your bag. You are playing young forever.
But well, also, okay, I will say, he's showing his age a little bit in this one. There are some scenes where it's like, that is a full adult man with a 401k.
Yes, sometimes he was doing stuff and I was like, why is he father right now and not like in a, yes, that's mother and father, like in a, where don't touch the thermostat, I'm wearing my New Balances. Like,
yeah, when he's snapping at somebody, it's like,
yes, I was like, sorry I didn't do my homework, Dad.
Released on June 30th, 1989. Do you know what else happened on June 30th, 1989?
It was not an election year.
It was not.
June 30th. Who was in office? Reagan.
Yeah, it was... no, it was Bush by this point.
Oh, I don't know. I was just kind of throwing out buzzwords, hoping I'd hit something.
Well, on June 30th, 1989, Hilmar Bronsgaard, Danish politician and 34th Prime Minister of Denmark, died.
I am so sorry to hear that. That's not what I was expecting, but thank you so much.
I asked that question without looking it up, and then I was like, well, what did happen?
I really thought it was going to be some tea, Dan.
There was a 1989 Sudanese military coup, which led to the clusterfuck that is Sudan now. Yeah, that's really it for events on that day. But back to Karate Kid Part 3. With a budget of $12.5 million, it made $38.9 million at the box office. Far less than the previous movies.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say it once. I'm going to say it again. Terry Silver, horrible character. By far my favorite of this movie. He sucked so bad. And he was so... The hair was so gross. But as a villain, I love him.
Yes.
He was always in the tub.
Yeah. He was tubbing it up. The first half of this movie, he's just tubbing.
He was always... No, the first time he was doing his little karate.
And then he was tubbing.
Then he was tubbing. Then he was tubbing again. The bubbles, he looked like... Watching him tub gave me nostalgia that I didn't ever actually experience of myself having a fancy tub.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Nostalgia of watching sitcoms from the 90s and people having fancy tubs.
Me dreaming my house would look like that, even though, yeah, I loved it. I loved his house. Very wealthy.
Very demure.
Very demure. Very
not
cutesy.
demure, actually. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 15% approval rating with an average rating of 3.8 out of 10.
Yep, all my stars are for Tear Bear.
Inspiration is in short supply in this third Karate Kid film, which recycles the basic narrative from its predecessors, but adds scenery-chewing performances and a surprising amount of violence.
It absolutely gives me life that they feel the need to recap not the first, not the second, but both movies at the beginning of this one. Every time I watch a Karate Kid movie, so the 2 times since the first one, I've been concerned I put the wrong movie on twice.
Because it starts the same way each time.
I'm like, did I not finish the last one? Like, I swear I saw the credits roll, but yeah.
Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel both did not like the movie, but they said that Thomas Ian Griffith, who plays Silver, Terry Silver, was nearly enough to save the movie.
Thank you. He was putting his back into being a villain, okay? He was carrying, no offense, Ralph. I know you're the breakout star, but it was getting tired. You know, we needed some fresh young blood.
He felt like he was in like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, sensational.
Or like a Bond villain. It was incredible. It was the exact level of
Terry.
Overcommitment to a bit.
I also just feel like the name Terry is so not evil, but he was so evil.
Watch out, guys. It's Greg.
Literally, like names that I am not scared of.
In 2015, the director called it a horrible imitation of the original, hastily written and sloppily rewritten. And it will baffle those who haven't seen the first 2 movies and insult those who have. And Ralph Macchio... Are you sure?
Because I feel like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Ralph Macchio said that it just felt for the LaRusso character, he never seemed to go forward, and that it felt like we were redoing the first movie as sort of a cartoon without the heart and soul which sold the original. It didn't help that we had characters mysteriously popping up for the sake of dramatic convenience.
Yeah.
And then this was nominated for 5 Razzie Awards.
There it is. I was going to say, there's no way this was nominated for an Oscar.
It was Worst Picture, Worst Screenplay, Worst Director, Worst Actor, and Worst Supporting Actor for Pat Morita.
Oh, Pat. You know what? He could have phoned it in, too.
I think he was kind of phoning it in. I don't think it was worst, though.
He said, let me get this check and call it a day. I'm done.
Yeah. They lost most of those awards to Star Trek V, The Final Frontier.
Oh, yuck. Not a Star Trek fan. Sorry to the Star Trek fans out there.
Well, Anna, I have some bad news of what we're doing after this. Wait, hold up. 1 second. I'm looking at Worst Original Song from the 10th Golden Raspberry Awards.
Yeah.
Nominated, Pet Sematary.
Who nominated that? The one with the Ramones?
Yeah.
I'm in a fight. It didn't win, did it?
No.
Oh, good. I'm a beat. Dan, I've been worried this whole day that I was going to accidentally snap on someone, and I think you just hit my trigger point. That song is gold. That song is sensational. It takes me from a dark place to a happy place. On Halloween, it's always playing in my house. Both that one and the one by Starcrawler, the cover. Chef's kiss for both versions. Don't come to my house and start talking shit about Pet Sematary. You will be asked firmly but politely to leave. End rant.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Clip that. Aggregate it. Firmly and politely. I assume this is the first time you watched this movie. It's the first time I've seen it.
Yes. I feel like in the past, the only one I'd ever seen, I've never even seen the Jaden Smith one. The only one I'd seen was the original one.
Wow. Okay.
Gage does keep getting annoyed, though, because I keep doing the Jaden Smith rap from Never Say Never every time we watch a Karate Kid. But anyway.
Yeah, he's bigger than me.
Bigger than me and taller than me. And I think we rapped this last time, too.
Yeah, when we actually get to that movie, is that just going to be the whole episode? That for an hour?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the plot. The plot. Let's get into whatever. I don't know if I can call it a plot. Whatever happens in this movie.
There's just a lot of tubbing.
Yeah. So we start once again with a recap of the first movie and then the first 10 minutes of the second movie.
I looked up from my burrito bowl confused as hell.
Once again, Daniel LaRusso has won the All Valley Karate Tournament. John Kreese is trying to murder his student.
He should not be allowed around children, period. He's got some issues. He should not be allowed around the youth. And neither should Terry Silver, for that matter.
No, I think Terry Silver's cool. And a person like that, who looks like that and acts like that and has those views, should obviously be around children. He has no nefarious plans.
I feel like Terry Silver... I sent Gage a picture of Terry Silver and Ralph Macchio today. He goes, scary, but also sexy. I was like, ew!
Okay, so because of the loss of the All Valley Tournament, all of the students at the Cobra Kai Dojo have left John Kreese. He is broke. He is homeless.
I'm sorry he's homeless, but do you know how fast I would pull my child out of that dojo?
Right.
You couldn't even say dojo.
Maybe all of the people who pulled out of the dojo were just following his advice. Because now he's a loser. And now he's weak.
You were abusing children. Game over. I'm suing your butt. Okay, you're done. You're cooked. No sympathy.
So he goes to visit his old Green Beret pal, Terry Silver, who is fighting. He's doing violent karate to two mooks.
He's the slimiest man. He's the slimiest man.
His body is dry, but his hair is wet all the time.
Literally! Even when he gets out of the tub, completely dry, except for his hair.
His hair, which was not in the tub either. He was sitting up in it, but it just absorbs all moisture in the surrounding area.
Oh, he's probably rough on a humid day.
It does fit, though. He is a toxic waste dumper.
Yeah.
Which, there is a really good quote when he's talking about toxic waste. He was like, used to be a decade ago, toxic waste was everyone's favorite kind of waste. Now you can't even dump it anywhere without getting sued.
Period. I think my favorite quote from him was in the bathtub scene where he's like, "No, I will not do take your loan or whatever, give you a loan. You can just take a hike, blah blah blah. My love to the kids." I was like, "Terry, you old dog, Terry, I love you."
Yeah,
I'm jumping ahead.
When he's dictating his note.
Yes.
So John Kreese goes to visit Terry Silver. Green Beret pals, Vietnam buddies. Terry is wealthy beyond belief now. He lives in
both of them.
A Frank Lloyd Wright designed house.
Gorgeous,
Los Angeles.
iconic. Love, wish it was mine.
It's not open to the public. It's a private house. I've been outside the front of it, though.
Oh, the actual house?
Yeah.
There's a house by us that I think was just inspired by Frank Lloyd Wright, and I want to live in it so bad. It's so pretty. I see it in the winter because, like, when the trees are all full of leaves, you can't see it. But when there's no leaves, I'm peeping. I'm looking at the house from a distance.
Oh, I'd go up
that
close.
Sounded, yeah. Oh no, I don't want to get in trouble.
Just go knock on the door.
Yep. Hey guys, I see you're grilling on your fancy built-in grill. Can you let me in?
Hey, you're home. Can I come in?
I was gonna go get Culver's, but looks like you're having fun here, so.
Listen, I love your house. Can I live in it? You don't have to
Literally.
move.
Can you adopt me? I'm the same age as you.
I don't think they're the same age as you.
No, they're definitely older than me. Because I've seen them and they kind of look like they're my parents' age, but.
Okay, now you could have an in. Do they look like they're in failing health?
No, I didn't say that. They just look like they look like they're enjoying their retirement.
Okay. Maybe soon.
You guys want a daughter?
Something happens to one of them where they need a caretaker.
Oh my god. I've never wanted to be a nurse, but this might be my time.
And
my in.
People grow really attached to their caretakers.
Yeah.
You and
How
Gage?
Attached enough to give me the deed to their house.
Have you seen Parasite? I think that's a movie
I'm ready
to ape in this situation.
You know, it was kind of giving, for me, Misery, back to Stephen King. But anyway.
I think it would work. I think you could do it.
Okay.
So, Silver is going to help John reestablish Cobra Kai and get revenge on Daniel and Mr. Miyagi.
On a child.
So I just want to point out that the plot of this movie is not that John is getting revenge on them. It's that he goes to his wealthy friend who then decides, hell yeah, I hate this kid. Let's fucking ruin his life.
You know that meme that's like, me and my bestie will be in jail together?
I don't, but...
Oh, it's like a good friend will tell you not to do the crime, a great friend will bail you out, and your best friend will be laughing next to you in the jail cell. It's very live, laugh, love.
Okay.
Like, moms love that quote.
Sure.
That's their energy.
Yes.
Terry is like, yes, girl, you have a bad decision to make, I'm in. You hate a child, I'm in to gang up on him.
Let's fucking do it.
Even though in real life he's older than me.
Let's fucking do this shit.
Let's go fight him. I hate his ass.
Listen, I'm already getting sued for dumping toxic sludge. I need something to take my anger out on, something to let out some steam. Where's a 27-year-old child that I can beat up?
Period. Where's someone older than me but shorter than me that I can just make their life a living hell?
So he then hires the national karate champion Mike Barnes, who he finds in a karate magazine. Karate's bad boy, Mike Barnes.
Yeah, that had me screaming. I was like, not Karate's bad boy. Oh my god. I feel like, though, if I was a kid and I got to have my name and face in a cool spread like that, that would be hanging in my bedroom above my bed.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also, I don't know how old anyone is supposed to be. How old is Mike supposed to be? I assume
who knows?
18.
Yeah, I think Daniel's 18, and then Mike's got to be 18 too, and then Terry's got to be like 30. Right?
Terry's got to be older than 30 if he was in Vietnam.
No, fair. Then they're looking good for 50.
It's a loose timeline.
Yeah.
This movie is very loose.
Yeah. They fought in the war as literal children.
Yes. I mean, in Vietnam, not really on the U.S. side, but there were a lot of children fighting in it.
Oh my god. I said that as a joke, and now I'm sad.
Welcome to the entire conceit of this podcast.
Oh god.
So, returning from Los Angeles, at the same time that Terry is sending John to Tahiti.
Wish I was in Tahiti, man.
You can go get sepsis with Colin Jost.
Did he get sepsis?
No, he got a staph infection on his feet.
From what? Oh, God.
From the coral.
Oh, my God. This is why you wear swim shoes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they're returning to Los Angeles it doesn't look like LAX. I think that's the Burbank airport. But the Burbank airport isn't double-deckered. So I'm not really sure.
It could look different in the 80s, Dan.
This has been bugging me, but when it was filmed, this was post the 1984 Olympics upgrades that turned LAX into kind of like the shape that it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And they would be at the beginning of the horseshoe, which looks totally different from that point. And like the ramps and everything look different. Very upsetting.
I don't know what to tell you. I could barely tell you what the Mitchell International Airport looks like here.
There's a recombobulation area. The only one in the country.
There is only one in the country. Yes!
So they drive back to their apartment complex, the South Seas apartment complex. Whoopsies! It has been sold and is being turned into condos. Pour one out?
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I feel like I don't even know what to say.
I wonder who bought it. Do you think it was Terry?
Probably. He said, I'm going to turn this into condos, and then I'm just going to put waste in each different unit.
So
imagine my condo completely filled with toxic waste.
When you say toxic waste, are you picturing like glowing green sludge?
I'm picturing the candy.
I've never had it. I know it comes in those barrels.
It's just sour. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes they just have like warhead candies.
Can handle it. I can handle sour far less than I can handle heat. So Mr. Miyagi is unemployed. Daniel is homeless. Daniel's mother just up and left to New Jersey.
Yeah. That's not good mother behavior like she had in the first film. They just didn't want to cut my girl her check, but okay.
So Daniel moves in with Mr. Miyagi to his house, and he comes up with this great plan.
He's also lying about being in college.
Yeah, I'm going to use my college tuition, which I spent once before to go to Okinawa with Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, what? Okay.
I'm going to use it to get a lease on the most decrepit building in all of Los Angeles so that Mr. Miyagi can finally open that bonsai shop that he's been wanting to open for so long.
His heart's in the right place.
He's so stupid.
Well, yeah. He's 18. Weren't you stupid?
Yeah, but I also didn't have my college tuition to give away.
That's true. I also did not have that. So.
Like we've said this before, 18-year-olds are very stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a base rule.
I'll scream it from the rooftops. I'll be so honest with you.
Mr. Miyagi accepts this after about a minute. He's like, oh no, I can't. Just kidding. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do this, baby boy.
He's like, hell yes.
And across the street from that is a pottery store where the only employee is a child.
Honestly, I can confirm, because I live across the street from a pottery store, half of their employees are children.
That makes sense. I mean, it happens with every family business.
Mm-hmm.
So her aunt runs the store or owns the store. And immediately she's like, yeah, I'll go on a date. Sure. Why not? Just kidding. I have a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. Goofy.
I'm just visiting from Columbus, Ohio.
Great place. Just kidding. I don't know anything about it. I don't know why I said that. I've never been there. I'm a liar.
So Mr. Miyagi is then teaching Daniel random karate things, regular karate training, and guess who pops up but Terry Silver pretending to not be himself, but not changing his name or his appearance or anything.
Terry with his hair.
Terry with the hairy.
Oh, Terry. What am I going to do with you, my dude, honestly?
He's like, oh, wow, that's incredible. Yeah, you know, Chris and I were in South Korea during the Vietnam War. Also, he died.
Yeah, that was...
That.
I was like, what the frick? I was shook to my very core.
Oh, you thought he was telling the truth there.
No, I didn't. I just thought it was crazy that he decided to just go with that one. Of all the lies he could tell, you know? He's just like, oh, by the way, that guy that you just beat up on, he died.
Surprise.
Surprise. Literally. I was like, not that he died.
I like that he's going with big lies immediately, though.
I suppose. I mean, he's committing to the bit for sure.
Yes.
But is it too much?
And he apologizes. He's like, I'm sorry for his actions. You know what war can do to a man, right?
Sure, girl. Sure, Jan.
But Terry, he's got two goons. Two mooks.
They're children.
They're literally children. Dennis and Snake.
That Snake. Oh my god.
You'll never survive Snake and his partner, Dennis.
God, freaking Dennis. He's the scariest one.
They harass Daniel and Jessica. They're just the goons from the first movie again.
They're so mean, though.
Yeah, they're much more like outwardly aggressively mean in this movie than they are in the previous one. They're like, hey, their whole thing is they want Daniel to sign a contract to be in the All Valley Karate Tournament because he says he's not going to defend himself, or he's not going to defend his championship, even though I assume as a budget cut move for the movie, he only needs to fight once because he gets an automatic bye to the final.
That's so ridiculous.
Right?
When I saw that, I was like, well, I didn't even know what to say. I was like, this is the stupidest thing.
Who came up with that one?
I've ever seen. This is so dumb.
And basically they're trying to do everything in their power, short of murdering him, to get him to be in the All Valley Tournament.
Dear Lord.
They wreck Mr. Miyagi's shop. They steal all of the bonsai trees. That's all the money they had for the store. That's all of Daniel's tuition that he's never going to get back. Gone.
Ugh. Daniel.
But Daniel's
That's on Daniel for not investing wisely and instead just giving his money to his friends over and over again.
But Daniel's like, I know a solution. Hey, Jessica, let's go steal a bonsai tree that Mr. Miyagi planted on the side of a wall, like a side of a mountain. I'm sure for spiritual or personal reasons. Let's go dig it up and sell it.
Great idea, pal. That's what I imagine she said.
So they go and do that. They're spelunking down to, I think it's literally called Devil's Hole. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that in the book that you're reading?
No, but ew. Gross.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have an issue with the Devil's Hole?
Yes.
What about it, Anna?
It's dirty.
But while they're spelunking, guess who shows up? The goons.
Would you believe it? It's Dennis and Snake.
Dennis and Snake and adult Dennis the Menace, Mike.
Yep.
With a haircut you can set your watch to. So they threaten them with death.
Jesus Christ. That's so dark.
And they get him to sign the contract. He signs the contract. They're almost to the top of the Devil's Hole. They're almost out of the hole. To the Devil's Rim, if you will.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much.
And Mike, he throws up the bonsai tree, and he's like, don't do it. Don't throw it out. I need this. That's my money. And Mike's like, that's fine. So he just rips the bonsai tree in half.
That shit made me mad. Don't disrespect the damn plant. It didn't do anything. It was just growing.
Daniel deserves it. It's for his hubris.
That shit made me mad as hell, Dan.
I find that akin to opening up an ancient mummy's tomb and being like, oh boy, let's hope nothing happens in here.
Jesus.
And then you get attacked by a curse for 1,000 years.
I went out and kissed all my plants on their leaves afterwards so that they would know that they're loved.
Wait, you just kissed them on their leaves without asking?
No, I did. I asked first. I said, may I please kiss your plentiful leaves, my beautiful plants? And they said, of course, queen. And I did.
So Daniel is like, well, shit, I got to train for the All Valley tournament now. What am I going to do? Mr. Miyagi, will you train me? No.
He said, I'm busy. I'm booked and busy.
I got trees to do, man. What do you think I'm going to do? Also, I skipped over this. When Daniel and Jessica first meet, he's like, want to go out later? She's like, sure, I just live above the store. The building that the store is in is 1 story tall. Where does she live?
I wish I could answer your question.
Is she in like Mary Poppins' bag?
That's the magic of Hollywood, baby.
I looked it up on Google Maps because that building is still there. The decrepit, falling apart bonsai store. Mr. Miyagi's Happy Trees is, I think, what Daniel comes up with the name for it.
That is not the name I would have given it.
That building is long gone. I'm pretty sure it was a set built for the movie anyway. But that store, it's still there. It's not a store now, but that building is still there, and it's still 1 story. Where? We see the building. It doesn't have a 2nd story. I hate it. It's upsetting. Upsetting spaghetti.
Upsetting spaghetti.
So Daniel instead goes to the Cobra Kai dojo where Terry's like, yeah, I'll train you. Bruh, dude, brosif, yeah, let's train. Little does he know his training is just torture for Daniel. It's making him evil. Making his hands bleed. Which is all that John wanted.
I just don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
He has this automaton, like this wooden person.
That thing is creepy. This is the scene that Gage referred to as yuck, but also hot.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, he's like, break his limbs.
If you know that they're both the same age, suddenly...
You're into it?
No, I'm absolutely not into it. It's still disgusting and horrifying.
Sounds like you're into it.
Well, not kidding. It was scary. I did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy watching Daniel kick and punch and scream for what felt like my whole life.
Kick and punch and scream and bleed.
Ew. Gross.
So then he and Jessica go out dancing one night.
You make me feel like dancing.
What about a better song? Whatever song they were playing in that scene.
They're the off-brand Huey Lewis.
Not a banger. Bangless.
Yeah.
Unbanged. So someone tries to dance with her and he just punches that dude in the face.
Yeah, I was like, you could have said, hey, she's with me tonight. Or she could have said, no, thank you.
Or
we didn't have to resort to punching.
That's a child. You're an adult.
Yeah, he could have said, hey, girl, she's underage.
Oops.
And for the sake of this movie, I could be, but I'm not.
And that is also... This movie would be a lot more interesting if it got to Daniel turning Cobra Kai way sooner. And
I would love that.
And lasted longer.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do that. He's evil for about 14 seconds.
God. I don't even know.
There's also an earlier scene that is shot with them jogging, where Terry pulls up to them, like, hey, what are you training for? The Olympics? Wonderful.
Oh my God.
And I recognized where that was shot immediately. That is the end of the roads in Santa Monica. That is right off of Ocean Boulevard. Very important for our geography heads that listen.
Mm-hmm.
You are actively uninterested by my geographical discussions of
Dan,
Los Angeles areas.
I've only been there twice, and it was like over 10 years ago, so I will support you emotionally, but I can't relate.
Daniel is disturbed by his punching of the dude, so he goes and is like, "Hey, Jessica, wait, no, stop, come back. I'm sorry, that's not me." And she's immediately like, "Okay."
Yeah, girl, no. I would say, hey, let's pause on this friendship for a minute while you figure yourself out.
And then he goes back to Mr. Miyagi. He's like, "Hey, I've been being a dick." And Mr. Miyagi's like, "Okay, tree's good." Taped it up.
Yep.
That's all it needed.
Problem solved.
Everything is a quick fix.
Mm-hmm.
So then Daniel goes back to the Cobra Kai dojo, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not competing in the All Valley tournament." And then Terry Silver's like, "Fine, I'll stop pretending now. Don't you know
Terry.
that I've been the architect behind your demise this entire time?"
Terry, all you've done is manipulate a child who's actually older than you.
It's just a villain monologue.
I love it. Honestly, Terry's an icon. He is the 80s villain for me. It's giving him and Biff. They're my villains.
He says, so Daniel goes, I decided not to defend my title. I appreciate everything you've done for me. I mean, you've just been great. I just, when I hit that guy, that's just not me, I just wanted to come here and tell you in person because I figure after everything, I owe you at least that. And then Terry goes,
"Okay.
You owe me a lot more than that, Danny boy."
He steps out from the shadows. When he said Danny boy, I thought of you immediately.
I did too. I was like, what?
I know. I was like, is Dan feeling this in the ether right now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the lessons were for free, but no. Nothing's for free. You are gonna defend. You're getting in that ring. Excuse me, Mr. Silver. You can't make me do something I don't want to do. Danny. From the moment you met me, I've been making you do things you didn't want to do.
That part gave me the ick so bad on a visceral level. And like I said, circle back, perfect villain.
And then he's like, "What are you talking about? What am I talking about? Let's show him what I'm talking about." Mike steps out. He's been waiting
from the shadows. He's not dead.
Daniel
very much alive.
Daniel goes to run, and then John Kreese jumps out from behind a cardboard cutout of himself.
That was iconic.
Yells like a Scooby-Doo villain at him. Ah!
Oh my god, this whole scene's iconic. It's the most iconic thing in the movie besides the tub scenes.
And then Daniel and Mike get into a fight, and Mike's beating his ass. They end up brawling outside of the dojo, and then about a second later, Mike gets thrown back into the dojo by Mr. Miyagi.
Period.
Beats up John Kreese in 6 seconds.
I would have said, haven't you learned your damn lesson, John?
He beats up Silver in 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Still too easy for him. He can float on air. And then he was like, "Fine, I will train you for the All Valley tournament."
I just want to say, this is not related, but it's a thought that crossed my mind during the scene last night, and it's crossing my mind again.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that between after taping for the day, Ralph Macchio and the gentleman who played Terry would go out to the bar, and all the 12-year-olds would be seeing Ralph Macchio in the street and be like, "Oh my god, Ralph!" And then they'd actually get to the bar, and the only person that would be getting people to talk to them would be Terry Silver, because he actually looks like he's 27.
Ooh, interesting. Maybe.
I was just wondering about that, as a baby-faced person myself.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. But I have the power of makeup to make me look older. I don't know what Ralph had.
Do you think that Terry kept his hair like that while not shooting? Offset, he had that greased back and ponytailed back?
Probably. It was probably hot back then.
Yeah, it was hot. He was in the room.
Mm-hmm. Period.
Period. So then Daniel and Mr. Miyagi have a 6-second training montage of them on the beach in Santa Monica.
Again.
I know where that beach is. That's Will Rogers. Yeah. You could see the ocean tower in the background while they're training.
Ooh.
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 Ooh. I can just I can feel the apathy.
I don't love geography the way you do, Dan.
I don't love geography either. I just like being able to point to a place and being a know-it-all. I know where that is. I've been there.
Oh, I love going, I've been there. So much that when Gage and I watch a movie that he knows I've been to the place where it's filmed, he beats
Will he
me
fast
to it and I
forward?
get so mad.
Uh-oh.
No, he goes, I've been there. In that voice. I'm like, shut up.
We were watching a while ago, we were watching Under the Silver Lake with Andrew Garfield. Weird
Ooh,
movie.
Okay.
But there was one scene where he was driving somewhere, and in the background I was like, wait a second. I recognize that gymnasium far in the background. That's where they filmed the end of Grease. And I was right.
I don't even know what to say to you.
Right? There's nothing to say. You just shock and awe. So it's then the day of the All Valley Karate Tournament. The explicitly stated by the announcer, the All Valley Under 18 Karate Tournament.
Girl, they're definitely 18. Be so for real.
He turned 18 in the first movie.
Yeah.
There was literally a birthday party for him.
Yeah, well.
Is he grandfathered in?
It's under 18, featuring a special guest.
So long as he continues to win, he can stay in it.
Yeah, it's like when you flunk a grade on purpose so that you can play Little League longer.
What?
Oh, there was a kid that I went to school with who definitely did that.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
That is a choice.
Yep.
To play Franklin, Wisconsin Little League?
Yes.
Okay. So Silver's planning to reestablish Cobra Kai as a franchise. 30 locations, all along the valley.
All built on toxic waste.
I can dump shit everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sue myself. They get to the finals, and Silver's like, beat him up. Make it a tie until it's sudden death. Make him bleed.
This was so dramatic.
Make him feel it. So he scores points by doing actual takedowns and then loses them by breaking the rules every time. And the referee does nothing to stop this. He's just like, next time, this is it. This is your last warning 15 times.
Literally, I was watching this and I rolled my eyes every time. I was like, I'm sick of this.
And then also I don't know if you noticed this, there's a point where it keeps cutting to a shot of Kreese and Silver turning and saying like one-liners to each other.
Mm-hmm.
They not at all saying that. Totally
okay,
ADR'd.
Did you, flashing ahead a little bit to the final showdown, did you hear that a slur was yelled?
Wait, which one?
Not one of the big daddies, but definitely something that you just don't say to people.
You need to give me more than that.
Oh.
What does it start with?
It's like, it starts with a J. Slur,
Like
that's a shortened version.
Like a Japanese
of another...
slur?
Yeah.
Someone yelled that? What?
Yeah. And I'm sitting there watching this and I looked at Gage, I was like, that felt real. Like, was somebody here being racist on Maine? Like,
there were a bunch of extras and just somebody who's very angry.
It showed up on the closed captions and my pearls were clutched. I looked around. I said, hello? I didn't know this was that kind of film. We're just going to start throwing around those kinds of words. I was shook. I was like, I said to Gage, I was like, do you think they told them to improv and somebody got so into character that they just started like letting her rip? Because I don't think I would ever get that far into character, girl.
They're going to the ADR booth. Wait, what do you want me to say? Who wrote this?
Literally, I said, excuse me?
Somebody who's still very angry about Pearl Harbor.
That had me clutching my pearls. I said,
Also, one of the lines that is ADR'd by Terry Silver during the final fight is just him going, I love it when he pounds him.
That Gage said that like 6 times. I was like, stop saying that.
This is even funner than I anticipated.
Oh my God, gross. Gross.
So they get to sudden death overtime. Daniel wants to quit. Mr. Miyagi goes, no, you still have more karate in you. So then Daniel performs what they were practicing. He scores the win. And destroys Cobra Kai. Cobra bye, bitch.
I love when a kid threw their free Cobra Kai t-shirt back in the face of Terry Silver.
Right. And that is the Karate Kid Part 3.
We made it.
So I think objectively, this is the worst of the three.
Yes. Terry Silver carried this on his oiled, muscly back.
Because of him, I enjoyed this so much more than the second one.
Because he was the iconic, goofy villain.
Every scene,
over the top.
Every scene that he wasn't in, I was like, whatever.
Fast forward.
Every
scene that
he was in, leaning in.
Yes.
100%.
My attention, he had it fully.
Hanging on to every word that he said. Because I could never predict what he was going to say.
No. My king, I know he wasn't the one who said the dirty word. I know that was Mr. Cobra Kai, John. I know he said it. Because Terry would never, he wouldn't go that far. He would turn to John and be like, hey girl, settle down.
Let's pull it back a little bit.
Hey, that's a little much. We're evil, but we're not racist. We're kids.
I'm not sure that Terry isn't racist.
I know, but in my world where he's a villain but not a terrible person, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's bad, but
is he that bad?
He's not that bad. It falls into the category of fictional men allowed to do things that real men aren't. Fictional characters allowed to do things that real people aren't. Fictional and real people don't like it when they're starting to say bad words and calling people slurs.
Don't like it when you're throwing around slurs left and right.
Don't like that. Suddenly it's not a fun time anymore. Suddenly you're not just a little villain.
I do have some trivia about the movie.
I'm ready.
So, in the original script, Daniel's mother is never mentioned or seen.
Mr. Miyagi just adopted him?
Yeah. Sean Kanan was a green belt in karate. When they filmed this, he plays Mike. And then Thomas Griffith, Terry Silver, black belt in Taekwondo. The writer of this movie was so angry at the final product, he refused any involvement whatsoever in the following movie.
That's so fucking real. So mad, just throw the whole project away.
Ralph Macchio was 27.
Yep.
And is also wearing billowing, tucked-in button-down shirts the entire time and ill-fitting jeans.
I love it. They had to make it look like he was an 18-year-old who dressed himself, not a 27-year-old man with hopefully some style.
And then also 27, Thomas Ian Griffin. He's 4 months younger than Ralph Macchio.
4. I thought it was
4
11
months.
for some reason.
So the scene where Mr. Miyagi throws, what's his name? Throws Mike into the karate dojo. So Sean Kanan performed his own stunts. They did that 20 times. And then he took aspirin for 4 days to deal with the pain and then passed out and then was diagnosed with internal bleeding caused by a torn abdominal wall.
Jesus Christ. Great.
There were 2 quarts of blood pooled in his abdomen.
I love commitment to the craft.
The actor who plays Daniel's dying uncle was supposed to be 70. He's 54.
Yeah, I think I said to Gage, I was like, he looks like a young 70.
So Daniel was supposed to be in a romantic relationship with Jessica, but Ralph Macchio asked to have their relationship be platonic because he didn't want his wife to be jealous. He's married. He's an adult man. Playing a 18-year-old. And
I love that so much.
He wasn't comfortable with the age gap between him and Robin Lively.
You know what? I think that he could have just said that and left it at that.
Right.
Called it a day. Said, hey, this age gap's a little uncomfy for me. Because, listen, maybe it's because I don't know what his wife does or did. I don't know if they're still married. I feel like, now call me crazy.
You're crazy.
If I was out here telling Gage, hey, you can't be playing love interests in shows or vice versa, we wouldn't be doing anything. We'd be having a horrible time. It's
Don't
not like I'm enjoying kissing my friends.
right.
There's a reason why they're my friends.
You're acting. It's all acting.
Mm-hmm. I could tell you which of my stage kisses are the worst. Is Gage one of them? I'll never tell.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. He's like on the list because he was really sweaty and covered in green paint. I love Shrek.
Without knowing that you two were in Shrek together, that just sounds like so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then Martin Cove, who plays John Kreese, he was supposed to have a larger role, but he had scheduling conflicts, so they expanded Silver's role and had him take over a lot of what Kreese was supposed to do, which made it a lot better.
Yeah.
And then, most interesting, an early pitch for the film had it being a time travel adventure with Mr. Miyagi and Daniel traveling back in time to meet Mr. Miyagi's ancestor, who brought karate to Okinawa. The film would have had high-flying acrobatic fight scenes similar to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, as well as other supernatural elements. The film also would have had Daniel and Miyagi joined by a new female student of Miyagi's. This film never made it past the drawing board stages.
That's for the best.
Yeah, that sounds really goofy.
Mm-hmm.
This is also goofy, but in a grounded sort of way. It's just because Silver's insane and makes it fun.
Yeah. He's a fun villain.
That's a full cartoon.
He's a fun villain till he says a slur.
Anna, would this movie be better, worse, or the same with Jonathan Taylor Thomas as anyone? Pick a
Worse.
role.
I could not cast anybody else. I think they're all perfect the way they are. How about you, Dan? I want you to think Jimmy Stewart as Terry Silver, which is a cool name. Let's just circle back. Silver's a cool-ass last name.
It is. Remember the game plan. First you win a point, then you lose a point. Keep the
Say, I love watching him pound it. Say, I love watching.
I love it when he pounds him.
Love it.
I love it when he pounds him.
Yes.
Well, no, Daniel. No, Daniel's pounding Mike, and Mike's pounding Snake.
Oh, God.
And Snake's pounding Dennis.
Horrible news, by the way. I've already started seeing cast lists posted for this Christmas's productions of It's a Wonderful Life, and you're the first person I thought of.
Yeah, because I'm not getting cast in any of them.
Yeah, come do your accent.
Yeah, that'd be, just do it, playing a totally different character, too.
Mm-hmm. Playing, the rich man, Mr. Whatever.
It's not Slughorn.
Slughorn's from Harry Potter.
I know. But I do think that it would be worse with Jimmy Stewart as Silver, because you need somebody as insane. Hotness. Yeah. Jimmy Stewart's too regular hot.
He is like low-key giving Gaston.
A little bit, yeah.
Slicked back pony, evil, rockin' bod.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
So on a scale of 1 to 5 poundings, what do you give it?
1 star for Terry Silver.
Yeah, I'm gonna surprise you. I'm giving
5
it
stars
3.5.
3.5,
Yeah.
Dan. You're loving these.
I liked it. It was fun. It was bad, but it was fun.
Are you me? I liked it. It was fun. 3 stars.
We're slowly undergoing a Freaky Friday throughout this series.
Oh my God.
Anything else to add?
It just didn't hold my interest. That's
fair.
all.
That's fair.
Like I said, eyes were only glued when Terry was on the screen.
Well, if this didn't hold your interest, then you're going to love the next movie that we're doing.
I'm already sick.
Next week, we're going to be back with The Next Karate Kid.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's the most excited anyone's ever been.
Yep, I'm not taking it up another decimal.
Get excited for that. If you want to support us, we're on social media on Facebook and Twitter @and In Conclusion, on Instagram @In Conclusion Podcast, at Patreon at patreon.com/In Conclusion. I'm on Twitter @DanO'Keefe86 and on TikTok @NotDanO'Keefe. Anna, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram @AutomusPrime818, or you can find me on Twitter @AutobotsRollOut, capital O for Auto, capital B for Bots, capital R for Roll, and the O in Roll and the O in Out are zeros.
Beautiful. We'll be back with the next Karate Kid. Just say your prayers. It's not going to be a good one. In the meantime, everybody, stay safe and have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye. I can't do a Russian accent at all. Hello, my name is Anna. There it is, I lost it.
A Creative Land podcast.